I just gave an update on Maggie the other day, but she has been doing so much, and there are things that I just don't want to forget. For anyone who's new here, Maggie is our 9-year-old. She is autistic and she is amazing. The other day, one of the things that I was absolutely the most proud about is that Tessie dropped a cookie on the floor in the car, and Maggie scooped it right up. I mean, it had hardly hit the floor and Maggie had it in her hands, and I expected that cookie to be gone. I expected, Tessie was devastated. It was a Halloween pumpkin cookie. She was so sad. Tessie lets us all know now when she's sad. Suddenly the crying stopped and I glanced in the rearview mirror and Maggie had handed it back to her. And Patrick and James were shouting, "Maggie gave her the cookie back! Maggie gave her the cookie back!" And Maggie had the biggest smile on her face. She was so clearly proud of herself, and I was really proud of her too. The next day I got her a treat and gave it to her and told her that it was because she had been so good to her sister, giving her her cookie back the day before instead of keeping it for herself, because that is, I mean, not even something that I imagined her doing, especially because she had eaten her own cookie like 5 minutes before, and Tessie has a way of just holding her cookie in her hand and not eating it for like 30 minutes before she usually even takes a bite. And so that can be really tempting for Maggie to even steal her sister's cookies, much less hand it back to her after she's dropped it herself. The next one, I wasn't sure if I'd already shared this because I was just so excited about this. Last week, and Tessie wore this outfit with some matching striped pants. And we got home and Maggie went upstairs, and Maggie, as I said in the last update, she has full access to her closet. It's totally open. And all of a sudden Maggie came running outside where we were playing outside, and she was wearing a long pink dress that was striped pink and purple, and she had on snowman pants. And it was so obvious that she had gone up and picked out the closest outfit that she had to look like Tessie. It was absolutely adorable. I've never seen her actually try to dress like anyone, or really even seen that she had noticed what someone else was wearing and cared before that moment. And that was really exciting for me. It made me really happy. They were really cute together. Maggie's outfit was, I mean, it was like a summer dress with like these thick winter pants. It was adorable that she had put it together to match her sister, and it made my day. The other thing that she's been doing is she has been asking for different hairstyles. She was wearing pigtails a lot last week, and that was because Tessie wore pigtails one day, and Maggie said, "Pigtails, Tessie, pigtails, pigtails, I want pigtails," and she started asking me to put her hair in pigtails. The next day, I put Tessie's hair in a ponytail, and so I thought she maybe wanted to look like Tessie after the whole snowman outfit, and so I said, "Maggie, Tessie's wearing a ponytail. Do you want a ponytail?" And she said, "No, thank you, please. Pigtails," and asked for pigtails again. And so she wore pigtails all week, because every morning when it was time to do her hair, she came downstairs and said, "Bow, please," which means she wants a hair tie in her hair. And then she said, "Pigtails, please." Number one, awesome communication. Number two, she's caring about her hair. She's wanting it up, and yeah, good on so many different levels. That makes me happy. The next thing was so cool, and it happened when Paul was doing the dishes, and Maggie came over to him, and he kind of had water on his hands, and he went like that and splashed at her, and they were playing around and being silly, and she looked at him and she said, "Stop that, please." He was so happy. I have a cat in front of me. He was so happy that she had come over. Seriously, right away, he came over and told me what she had said, and was so happy that she had been able to tell him that she didn't want him to splash her. She was done playing around, but that she had the words to express that and tell him that, and was able to communicate that to him. Meanwhile, Tessie is doing some big things too, and if you're new here, Tessie is our 3-year-old who is on the autism spectrum. Tessie has learned to climb over baby gates, which is not my favorite milestone, but there it is. It is a milestone of sorts. sorts, I guess. She is also copying just about every word that they say at school, although we definitely are not seeing that at home yet. It is always surprising when she speaks though. With Tessie, her speech, the way it's developing is so interesting to me because she has these times where you can see she's just struggling to say a word and she's thinking so hard, and it's almost like you can just see her little brain working so hard to try to make the word, and her little mouth is like making shapes, trying to make the word and figure it out. And then other times she just says a word like happy birthday and it comes out like that. It comes out perfectly clearly. And everyone just turns around and is like, Tessie, because she will say things and it will sound like an adult's voice, and it is so clear. It is just interesting to see Tessie's speech development. It is kind of all over the place. And she's sort of going leaps and bounds. Like at speech, she knows what to expect. They play this game. She has speech and OT together, and they play this game where they go and they get a sticker, and she goes through this little kind of, not obstacle course, but it's like she steps on these little pads and these little arches, and she goes across and puts the sticker on a piece of paper with circles. And it's fun to see because she's starting to know like the games and what to expect and play along. But then other times she's just like done. She is not on board with whatever it is she's being asked to do, and if Tessie's not on board with something, she is not doing it. Some days Tessie will do speech cards and she will just, seriously kitty? And she'll fire off every sound like moo moo, boo boo. She'll say every sound on the speech cards. And then like last time when they asked her how many cards she wanted to do, and she said none, and I think, and it was a struggle to get any sounds out of her at all. More than either of the other girls when they were little though, Tessie really likes being with me and holding my hand and walking places with me. I still have to watch her when we're out and hold on to her so that she doesn't run off, but I really think it's a good sign that she wants to, a lot of the time, both in the house and when we're out, she wants to be holding hands with someone that she knows. And I'm really hoping that that is going to transfer into not eloping as she gets older. At least that's what I'm hoping. I know I'm forgetting so much with Tessie just because she is doing so much right now. The thing with Tessie is when she's at home, she's really so calm and quiet and laid back, and she doesn't really get into any sort of trouble other than maybe climbing the fences and then just trying to go and collect little things to hold in her hand. But when she is out other places, she is so hyperactive and wild, which I'm sure is in part being sensory overwhelmed anytime we're out of the house, that it's always a little bit shocking. It's not like she's loud and it's not like she's naughty, it's just she's such a calm little kid most of the time when we're home that it's always kind of a shock to see her in any other environment, because she's definitely a lot more hyper and just, it's almost like she's a different little kid when we're anywhere else. Anyways, that is it for today. If you like this video, we'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in all things autism, we'd love it if you'd hit subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.